Dear Pioneer friends, hello everyone. Tonight is a January evening in 2026. I am here in my Silicon Valley studio with soft lighting and the occasional sweep of car lights outside the window under the California night sky, like a distant river of stars flowing by. Ivy brewed a cup of hot tea. I am sitting in front of the camera, watching the comments scroll across the screen. And suddenly, a thought comes to me. I want to tell you all a story. A very old story. Once upon a time, there was an ancient village nestled in a valley surrounded by mountains. The village wasn't too large, just a few hundred households, living beside a small river and a modest patch of farmland. Life was simple, but peaceful. One day, strangers came from the mountains carrying glittering stones. They called them gold. A single small piece of gold, they said, could buy the finest silks in the city, the most exquisite porcelain, or even half a mansion. The villagers were stunned. From that day on, the village changed. Young people put down their hoes. Old folks abandoned their fishing nets, and everyone rushed into the mountains to dig for gold. The hills were scarred with pits and tunnels. The river ran muddy, and the fields lay fallow. Some struck it rich overnight, draping themselves in silk, only to find their stomachs growling because no one was growing food anymore. Others dug for a lifetime and came home empty-handed. Their hair turned white. Gradually, the village split into two kinds of people, those who had gold and those who did not. Those with gold looked down on everyone else. Those without kept their heads low. Gold became the measure of everything, your worth, your importance, your future, all determined by how many of those shining stones you had in your pocket. But there was one little girl in the village who was different from the rest. She didn't go digging for gold. Every morning she rose early, crouched on the empty plot outside her door, loosened the soil with a small shovel, watered it, and scattered seeds. People laughed at her. Gold is so valuable, and you out there playing in the mud. She just smiled and kept doing what she was doing. Year after year, the girl grew up. That empty plot became a vegetable garden, producing lush greens and full heads of grain. She shared the harvest with her neighbors, and for the first time in years, everyone tasted fresh food. Someone asked her, "Why did you think to farm instead of digging for gold?" The girl pointed to the earth beneath her feet and said, "Gold is precious, but it can feed people. Soil is right here under us. Everyone has some. Whoever is willing to bend down can grow food from it, feed themselves and feed others too." Slowly, the villagers came to their senses. They set down their picks and returned to the fields. The mountain tunnels were gradually reclaimed by vines. The river ran clear again. Gold was still there, but it was no longer the only belief. People realized that the truly precious thing was the rare. Shining stones only a few could possess, but the soil ordinary everywhere, yet capable of sustaining all life. The village regained its vitality, even more than before, because now everyone could have a small piece of land everyone could sow, harvest, and share. Wealth was no longer a zero-sum game. It grew like crops, season after season. The story ends here. My friends, did you catch the meaning? This ancient village is actually very much like the cryptocurrency world we live in today. The gold is Bitcoin. The phrase Bitcoin is digital gold has been repeated for over a decade. It is scarce, capped at 21 million coins. Early miners used expensive equipment and enormous amounts of electricity to mine it. It was designed as a store of value, shining like gold, drawing countless people to pursue it relentlessly. It truly changed the world, letting us see for the first time the possibility of decentralized money and bringing financial freedom to those who got in earliest. But it also carries gold as limitations. Scarcity means only a few can hold large amounts. High barriers mean ordinary people struggle to participate. Extreme volatility means it functions more as a speculative asset than a daily medium of exchange. Bitcoin was a magnificent beginning, but it cannot feed everyone. Like the village gold mine, it can make some people rich, yet leaves far more digging for a lifetime and ending up with nothing. So what is Pi Network? Pi is that soil. It is everywhere, yet overlooked by many. It doesn't require expensive mining rigs, massive electricity bills, or specialist knowledge. All you need is a smartphone and one tap on the lightning button each day to participate. It lowers the barrier to the absolute minimum, allowing people in every corner of the globe, whether in an African village or a Silicon Valley cafe, to become equal co-builders of the network. Why did Pi choose this path? because we believe true inclusive wealth should not be zero-sum gold, but soil that can grow endlessly. Think back to 2019, when Pi was just born. Like many of you, I simply downloaded the app on a whim and tapped the lightning button every day. Back then, we had no idea how far it would go. We just felt the idea was beautiful, making cryptocurrency no longer a game for the few, but an opportunity for billions of ordinary people. 7 years have passed. We endured the long winter of the enclosed mainnet, the rigorous trials of KYC, the pains of mainnet migration, and finally, in 2025, we welcomed the open mainnet. Today, in January 2026, Pi can be traded externally, circulated in ecosystem apps, used for payments, staking, and supporting developer projects. Yet the price remains low. Many feel anxious, many question, many are even disappointed. I understand that feeling. It's like those villagers who dug for gold their whole lives. When the price of gold drops, the heart naturally aches. But I want to tell everyone, Pi was never born for short-term price surges. It was born for long-term value. Like soil, it appears ordinary yet holds infinite potential. The seeds you plant today may only become great trees next year, the year after, or many years later. Mobile mining is Pi's most brilliant design. It makes participation virtually cost-free. Yet it has trained hundreds of millions of people to open the app every day. That habit itself is an accumulation of consensus. Over 7 years, starting from zero, we have gathered tens of millions of real users, every one verified through KYC. These are not numbers inflated by marketing, but trust built drop by drop through time and patience. KYC is a pain point many complain about. I know it's slow, it's as strict, it has made many wait a long time. But think, without KYC, how do we ensure fairness in the network? How do we prevent bots, fake accounts, malicious hoarding? How do we walk openly into the world? Under increasingly strict global regulation, KYC is in fact the cornerstone of our digital identity. It makes every pioneer a true owner of the network, not an anonymous speculator. What sets Pi apart from other projects is that we are not just issuing a coin. We are building a global community with identity, belonging, and responsibility. Just like the village soil, every shovelful turned and purified so that the cleanest crops can grow. Today in 2026, we are already seeing the soil begin to sprout. After the open mainnet, external connections are finally open. Pi can be traded on multiple exchanges, though the price is still low. Liquidity now exists. App Studio updates allow developers to build applications without code payment integrations. Let Pi be used for real daily spending. The $1 million Pi Ventures Fund is supporting batch after batch of ecosystem projects. Recently, I saw Real Stories, a pioneer in Africa, used Pi on the Mobix platform to buy a second-hand phone. A Southeast Asian merchant used Pi to pay. A supplier, a developer used App Studio to build a small e-commerce site, settled in Pi. These small stories may seem unremarkable, yet they are the first tender shoots breaking through the soil. On the day of the community governance vote, I participated myself. Hundreds of millions of people went online at once. The app briefly lagged, but my heart felt warm. In that moment, I suddenly understood. We truly co-own a project. We are not chasing a coin, we are co-building a world. My friends, if Bitcoin is gold, then Pi is soil. Gold is precious, but it cannot feed everyone. Soil is ordinary, but it can feed the entire village. Bitcoin showed us the possibility of cryptocurrency. Pi is trying to answer a harder question: how to make cryptocurrency truly inclusive. How to let billions of ordinary people participate in the Web3 era without facing high barriers and high risks. The answer lies in every daily lightning tap over 7 years, in every patient wait for KYC, in every burst of enthusiasm during community votes. I know some will say, Chengdao, you're always so optimistic. But I am not blindly optimistic. Having seen too many projects that skyrocketed overnight, only to crash to zero, I cherish all the more this slow but solid growth. I often say, be friends with time. Time will filter out true value. Those who chase gold may get rich overnight or go broke overnight. Those who quietly till the soil may seem unremarkable today. But tomorrow their granaries will be full. Dear pioneers, are you willing to be gold diggers or soil cultivators? If you choose the latter, then please keep tapping your lightning button every day, keep completing your KYC, Keep following every ecosystem update. The seeds have been sown. Spring is not far away as the story comes to an end here. I want to leave this question with everyone. If Bitcoin is gold, what is pi? Tell me your answer in the comments, okay? Perhaps your answer will become the beginning of the next story. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.